But I believe that if you're a responsible investor, it's better for you to engage, work with the company to get them to change, to do the right thing. And if they're not taking actions, if there is no improvement, then you can have your exit strategy in place. We all have to roll up our sleeves and do some work. So I believe in engaging before divestment.
I'd say the thing that I've picked up going through this process a number of times in different organizations is one, you need to have a plan on how you're going to execute, but you also need to be flexible enough to adapt to situations as they come up. Whether it's going to Africa to do derivatives trading and realizing that I have to actually train up some of my counterparties in order to be able to trade. It's not necessarily something you'd see in a playbook because technically that's your competition that you're training up. But at the end of the day, you're building a market. And if you want to do it successfully, you need a market that has depth.
Grew up in public housing. There were no traders, no brokers, no market makers, no financial engineers. Like, again, I had no idea this world existed. But again, I was a smart student from that area, and I knew that there are other smart people who are just in low income areas, right? So if you don't have that social capital or that know-how or even understand that a financial world exists simply because you can't see it, then how do you know to go and apply to it?
To do more of that as leaders, make sure that we're bringing people along, that we are giving them the opportunity to take on those stretch roles. I think that is the one thing that all of us can commit to doing. It's just making sure that we're bringing other people along. To me, that's the biggest priority.
The way in which I think of failure is it's part of the business, and so I personally have always known not to fear failure, and the reason being is because you learn from it. So even if you do try something and you fail, it's not the end of the world. You do go on, and you can go on and learn from those mistakes and go on and build something better.
I was asked to take part in a graduate assessment center. When I got to the floor, I looked around and I asked the head of HR at the time, I said, "Where are all the Black people?" And she said, "We just can't find them." And that was such an interesting moment to me because I had a real rush of emotion and I guess in some respects, a real sense of confusion, I guess. I went back to my desk and I looked around and I realized, hey, I'm actually the only Black person in my team. I work in the front office. I am one of 3 Black people on my floor. I am one of less than 30 in the entire company.